Good evening, everybody. It is September 1st, and I am coming to you live on a Monday evening. It is 8 p.m. Eastern Time. This is Jake, also known as The Real Day by Day on Twitter. And I'm going over a new video. It's going to explain how to use my AI signals, prioritize between different stock symbols, and a couple other things. I would like to cover a little bit about my background, who I am, where I started, some of my trials and tribulations, just a little bit so you get to know who I am as a person. My educational background: by trade, I am not a finance guy. I graduated with a degree in computer science. At the age of 20, I was working for a Fortune 500 company. I was certified in Oracle, and I was consulting for several different Fortune 500 companies, Oracle being one of them. I worked for Warner Brothers. I was a data architect. I also worked for Earthlink during the dial-up days. I used to manage their entire database system, their usage records. We're talking about over 6 million records of optimizing. So one of my strengths is definitely optimization, thinking outside of the box, coming up with new creative ideas to tackle a problem. In 2014, I didn't have very good luck. I lost almost my life savings in gold. It was a very, very tough time, being that I was always used to starting up my own businesses and succeeding well in things that I could control. It was very difficult to enter the investing world, something that I could not control, and losing a whole lot of money doing it. That was not a pleasant feeling. I do have a very much of a no-quitter attitude that I applied during that journey. Nevertheless, it was very difficult. By nature, I am a little bit impetuous, impulsive, and that's just in my DNA. It took a lot of time to turn my weakness into a strength. And it took almost reprogramming myself to become more patient, to be able to see things from a bird's eye view versus a magnifying glass view, to be able to tolerate seeing red in my account and being okay with my decisions, and strategically becoming the trader that I am today and the analyst that I am today. The loss in gold, unfortunately, I was involved in another forum, and I'm not here to bash anybody, but they did recommend to buy the miners on what was supposed to be a wave 2 in the summer of 2016. It was much more than just a wave 2. It just kept going and crashing and ended up becoming much more of a pullback than what they expected, and that did not help anybody's account. And even though gold is rising now, it sure took quite a bit of time to come to that. What else can I tell you? It took me about more than 5,000 hours of thinking, dreaming, applying quantum physics-based principles into what I do, such as the Heisenberg theory, Mandelbrot theory. In nature, I've applied mathematics that I've personally come up with to track volume and find similar moments in history to now with volume signatures in order to reproduce or detect very similar historical sentiment moments and help in forecasting what would likely happen in probability in the future. Now, along this journey, when I did lose all that money in gold, I also met a wonderful mentor. A lot of you people know him as Chuppy. His name is Michael, but everybody lovingly refers to him as Chuppy, and he was a big influence in my life. At the time, I didn't really have much of a perception of good karma or anything. I just came from a very scientific type of background where everything was just evidence-based, but I experienced a whole lot of karma along my journey, really good karma, and it started with him. He taught me many technicals, and I would like to give a plug to his book, which is called InsideTradeBook.com, and we are colleagues now, and he would offer an additional 25% off $99 value book that if you do send him an email and mention Jake referred you, and you could do that through his site or on Twitter. He's got it if you follow him on Twitter, but the easiest way is through his email through InsideTradeBook.com. So that could help many beginners start with learning the fundamental concepts that I did in order to evolve where I have. One of my strengths is that I never give up.
Never give up. Never surrender.
Oh, shut up.
I always try to improve upon what I do. I always evolve, and that's a guarantee that I could give you, is that I always work to try to improve on what I do. In 2016, I had quite a bit of luck in recovery with everything. It just happens to be that I started collecting Bitcoin in around 2014 or 15. There was a point where it was about $200, and you know the story with Bitcoin. It went all the way up to 18,000 plus, and during that time was when I just started on Twitter, and I was trying to help many members one by one in any way that I could in helping them grow their account or trade ideas. In that journey, I also discovered that trying to do all of that could really, really burn me out. And I would receive many, many, many messages a day, asking for analysis, asking for charts of different sorts, and I had the energy to do it until I didn't, until I really did burn out. Right now I have my own service. It does have a fee, but it is a rather cheap fee compared to what typical competitors charge, and the rewards are very high compared to the fee rates. And you'll learn a little bit more about that as we go on. I believe I've covered a lot of the basics, and now we can actually get to the action of what I wanted to cover